What's going on, geeks? You're listening to episode 372 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name is Cody Armour. I'm here with Lj.Lowery.
Yo!
And Shelley Nollan.
Hello.
This week, we're geeking out about Palworld, a Jesus movie that's real cinema. I got little quotations over that. And that I didn't watch all that Defender stuff for nothing, guys. There was a reason for it. It all worked out. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not so much, but can't win them all. It's a new year, 2024. Hopefully you all had a great break. I know I did. 4 weeks was a long time. I didn't realize.
I did.
I think, but it was much needed. I got a lot done. And
there was things like, especially with work, I'm so glad I took a break from almost everything because work got real busy. But I think we're almost over it now. So
cool.
Yeah.
Shelley, did you have a good break?
Yeah.
Good.
It was longer.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that we've been working on at Geeks Under Grace over that time. One of the biggest things is there's a couple of them. I don't know what the biggest is. geeksundergrace.com/Bible study. You can actually go there now and get a weekly study. So far, they have all been written by me. And hopefully that'll change. Hopefully we'll get some more writers in there to do those. But we are also on our Discord doing a small group every Thursday, 6 o'clock Central Time, 6 p.m. And that probably will be full soon. We had 9 people this last week. I think we had like 5 the week before, so it's growing quickly.
It's been awesome. And we've only been in 2 weeks, but it's been great.
Yeah, it's been really cool. And so what'll happen with that then is, don't worry, like, oh no, they're selling out. There's no tickets or anything. And we'll just make more groups and start new ones. So
get sent to make more voice channels. Boom, boom.
Yeah, really, really excited about that. It's going to be cool. And they don't have to be all on Thursdays, at 6 o'clock if that doesn't work for you. If you want to lead one, I would ask that you try to make a couple of ours and just kind of get a feel for what those look like. But yeah, very, very excited about that. Very excited about our volunteer page. You can go to geeksundergrace.com/volunteer. It used to take you to a form. Now it takes you to a page that kind of explains all of the different opportunities that there are to serve at Geeks Under Grace. And that has been kind of neat because there's a lot of stuff in there that I was kind of, as I was writing the page, didn't realize that those were opportunities that we had. And we do. There's a lot of cool ways that you can help us at Geeks Under Grace. It's not just writing or editing on the site, although those are options. We definitely need writers, and almost always. But there's also social media teams that we're working on, kind of putting back together. Some digital photography, which I'll talk about in a little bit, that I got to dabble in a little bit. Very much inspired by LJ. And I'm trying to think. And then the Twitch team. We're shaking up our Twitch team too. The last page that I'll talk about, we can move on from this, is geekstargaze.com/next. And I'm still waiting on one of the buttons just leads back to the page that you're on. And that is talk to a pastor. I'm working on getting that figured out. And basically what geekstargaze.com/next is kind of a next step page. So if you've never heard of Geeks Under Grace, you can go there and get an idea of what we are about. There's a lot of things that we're about. There's a lot of things that we're not capable of doing that we think that someone who hears Geeks Under Grace for the first time may want to check out. And so that's going to a church that has, they call it nerd affirming. I love that. That's Save Point Ministries. Well, you hit a button and that button will take you to Save Point Ministries, and Save Point Ministries will ask you what you geek out about. And you tell them, and they will find a church in your area and somebody in that church that will geek out with you. And it's so cool to me.
This page is really awesome.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Oh yeah, it's neat. The talk to a pastor will set you up with a form. It does not do that yet. Like I said, I'm working on that. And you can literally say, what you're struggling with, and they'll get you a pastor that'll talk to you. So that'll be really cool. Obviously, the YouVersion Bible app, just so we can provide the Bible. But it also has links for us too: the website, Discord, how to serve with us, and then how to give, because we are a nonprofit. But stoked about it. Been working,
looking good.
Lots of hours on all these different things, and they're finally coming to fruition right in time, just in time for the podcast. So we can move on to your regularly scheduled Geeks Under Grace podcast. One thing that hasn't changed is the formats. LJ, what games have you been playing?
All right, some highlights for me since it's been a while. Recently, I bought Alan Wake 2 on a sale, or not. It wasn't a very deep sale, but I had Alan Wake 1, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this because it'll push me to beat the first one, because my buddy was really like telling me about it. And so basically, it's a horror game. And basically the kind of objective is like you're taking on these like I forgot what they're called. They're called like the Taken or something. But it's just like darkness, these darkness creatures, and you have to shine a light at them and like boost your light at them to weaken them, and then you can like take shots at them. It's just the theme of light and darkness
Mansion?
is. Yeah, well, I mean, you're not sucking up ghosts; you're like shooting them. But yes, I mean, in a way, yes, you're hitting them with the flashlight, stunning them, and then bam, bam, taking them out. So yes, it's a more violent Luigi's Mansion, and more scary. I mean, I don't know, Luigi's Mansion is pretty scary though too, in some ways. But yeah, so I beat the first one over break, and I started on Wake 2. I'm loving it, and I realized I own a lot of the Remedy games that the devs of Alan Wake. So I realized, I've never finished Control, so I started that up again, and then I realized I was on the last like mission chapter of like Quantum Break last night, so I was like, let me beat that. So I beat that too, and so now I got now I just got Control, Alan Wake DLC, and they made all the Max Payne games as well. So I'm like, these are good third-person action shooters. Like that's mostly what this company does is third-person action shooters with like that make you feel cool and powerful. Like even Max Payne, like sure you had bullet time, but still you felt awesome if you did the little dive and shot some people. Mm-hmm. Quantum Break, you have time powers. Control, you have like other weird telekinesis and stuff going on. I guess Alan Wake technically is like you're not that powerful, but still you have this really cool tool that can make you feel good about surviving. So I have been on a kick with those games, so I'm going to keep that going. I am in full swing in Backlog Golf. We have restarted Backlog Golf this year, which leads me to my next thing. I just started playing today that I do want to highlight. I did take some points to play the new Prince of Persia game, nice. Which is kind of picking up steam in conversations and stuff because it's gotten really good reviews. Mm-hmm. The early access version came out today. It's actually like a side scroller like the original Prince of Persia, but it's got a lot of cool platforming techniques going on, inspired by like the Rayman games, like Celeste and all that. It's a Metroidvania. Super fun so far, like really good so far. So I'm not that far in, but so far it is good. So yeah, those are the highlights of what I have been playing over the break.
Sweet. What about you, Shelley?
It has actually been a while since we last podcasted. I think I hadn't beat Persona 3 Portable, but by the last episode, I beat that. So I don't know if I mentioned that before. I did beat Persona 3 Portable. Oh, that game is so good. I'm excited for Reload.
Then you got Reload coming up really fast.
So soon. And I told myself like I would wait, but might not. I don't know. Like it just looks
might be getting that
what's
review
crazy
copy, so.
Is that for me, the ending of Persona 5 Royal and Persona 4 Golden, like, the credits roll, and it was just like this very like just super strong emotions that I'm, cathartic kind of feeling. I did not get that at the end of Persona 3. But and the ending kind of happens, and obviously I'm not going to spoil anything, but I was just like, oh gosh, okay. And it took me a while to like, I don't know, I think I've sat with Persona 3, and the longer it's sat with me, sort of like, and like I've sort of ruminated, what's the word? Just like thought about more like the themes
proper use.
Yeah, sort of as time has gone on. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, the more time has gone on, the more I keep thinking about Persona 3, and the better it's getting somehow. Which I think is a good sign because I mean, Persona 5 is still really, really good, and so is Persona 4 Golden. Well, Persona 5 Royal and Golden are both super duper good. But I think I don't don't know. Persona 3 is like kind of special, it seems like. And I think it's like I get it. I get when everyone's like, says Persona 3 is their favorite, I get it. I'm like, yep, totally makes sense. It's so good. I'm really excited for people who I have actually quite a few friends who have like only played Royal, and I'm really excited for them to be able to play Reload and be able to experience that Persona 3 story, because I've even tried to get them to play Persona 4 Golden, and it's already kind of just too old of a game for them. Like, they need a little bit of that help with the quality of life and UI and things like that. That Persona 5 does so well, so they're going to be able to play Reload and experience that really awesome story, so I'm excited about that. Definitely my favorite, I think, of the stories. I don't know, I'd have to think about more. It's a really good game. It's really, really grown on me as time has gone on, so that's why I'm also, like, pretty excited about Reload coming up. Anyway, but besides that, games I'm actively playing, so there's two. There's one's Dave the Diver. I started finally after lots of... My coworkers have been playing Dave the Diver for a while now, actually, and they're just like, Shelley, you should get Dave the Diver. So I finally got it. And it's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
I'm 6 hours in. I definitely see the appeal, and it was a game I didn't think I was going to be into that much, but when I play it, I get hooked on it. I can't put it down.
Yeah,
but whenever I put it down, I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm waiting for that. I don't know how many hours I've put in so far, but I think I kind of am like trying to get used to the gameplay loop. It's I don't know. They keep throwing things at you, right? They keep throwing new features. Like, you get a phone, you get new apps, there's new characters, and they're all just demanding things of you. Which, like, the game's pretty self-aware in that way. Dave is just like, dude, why am I having to, like, mooch to all these people? And this is kind of annoying. Like, why do I have to... I'm just a diver, man. Like, why do I have to do all this extra stuff? But, yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. It's not, like, my favorite thing ever, but I think I'm getting used to it, and it's a good time. And again, I also definitely see the appeal. Like, I for sure, like, people, like, my coworkers exactly, too. So, like, oh, one more dive, right? So, and I do really like the idea of, like, having a shop where you go, you get the product, you prepare it, and then you sell it. And it's something like Moonlighter. Like, I really liked Moonlighter in that way.
Yes.
But Moonlighter got really old for me really fast, so I'm hoping this doesn't.
That's why I was actually nervous about getting this game, is because of Moonlighter, because the same thing happened to me with Moonlighter.
Yes, so exactly. Yeah, so that's also kind of why I'm still hesitant to really like it, I think, is that I'm still kind of like waiting for it to get into that groove, and maybe part of it is that there is no groove because they just keep throwing things at you. I don't know what it is, but no, it's good. It's fun. It's cool. I like it. And then the other game I've been playing is the Norpapalug, which is it's like a $2 incremental game, and it's like an idle game kind of, but it's definitely the best incremental game I've played. But I haven't played a ton. I got it because
that incorrectly. I was thinking you said like incrementally it's $2. Like it's $2. Then a little bit later it's $2 more.
No, on Steam it's like $2, but it's the genre of game. It's I was like looking during the Steam sale, the winter Steam sale, and I saw this game and it wasn't on sale, but I just like saw it. And the reviews, I don't know, it just looked fun. It came out in December, so it's a pretty new game still. But it just looked kind of fun and funny. You kind of control these little Norps, is what they're called. They're just like little guys. It's kind of reminds me of Pikmin. It's all 2D, though. You don't really have a 3D space where you're, like, commanding them. But you kind of, your goal is you have this rock that if you hit this rock, shards come out of it. And you just want as many shards as possible. And you can make things out of the shards. So it kind of turns into a pretty style, incremental style game. Again, like Cookie Clicker, right? Like the more you get, the more stuff you get to make you get shards faster. But there is, I think what was appealing to me for this game is that there actually is an ending. There's a way to beat it. So a lot of incremental games just go on forever and ever and ever, and there's no like end in sight, and that's their whole thing, is that there's like basically no end in sight. But this game there is. So I am very close to beating it. But I may need to look up a guide or something because my strategies are just not working. They're just failing. My Norps are failing at beating the game. They're so close, but they're so far. But what's also fun is the achievements are not that hard to get. There's only like 15. Like, there's not a ton of achievements, and I've gotten all but 2, I think. One of them involves beating the game, and the other involves one other thing I just haven't done yet. So I plan to beat it, and I'm planning to complete it, which will be cool. But right now I'm getting not frustrated. I just I want to beat it. This stupid incremental game. I'll just have it on in the background. I'll go watch a show and come back and be like, "Did you do it yet?" And they haven't. And I'm like, "No, guys, get your heads together." So that's what I've been playing.
I finally put down Horizon and picked up God of War Ragnarok. Yep, I didn't think I could do it, guys.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
God of War Ragnarok, though. I know it's funny because you guys have your backlog, right? And so it's about getting through a game, and then old games, and me, it's like I picked up a new game finally. It's like the reverse.
That's funny.
I wish I had that.
The opposite. It's like, man, I'm rather playing a new game. But no, I'm really enjoying God of War Ragnarok. I really like the first one, and so this is just kind of, it's definitely more of the same. The writing is just ridiculous. Like, it will, in a good way.
Good. Okay.
It's almost like they Googled how to make someone cry, and they're like, we're just gonna do that over and over. Like, we're just gonna implement every method possible to make you feel things.
Really?
Yeah, and it's always like, for me, like the father-son stuff is there, but it's always the themes of loss for me, just because I resonate with that a lot more.
Yeah.
It's just the whole thing like lasts through both games. Like, you still feel the grief of those characters like throughout the whole game. It's crazy.
There's so much of it, like the father-son stuff is really good, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that like kids playing this as a teenager will probably learn a lot from the teenager's perspective.
From Atreus, yeah.
Because Atreus is doing stuff that I don't even want to play. You get to, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, I don't think so, but you get to play as different characters, and Atreus being one of them. And like,
it's been out for over a year now, so I think you're good.
Yeah, and I don't think it's really a spoiler. Like, you get to play as different. It's just a mechanic thing, but he's constantly doing teenager things, and then I have to play them out, and I'm like, I'm at an age now. I guess I'm getting old enough that I'm like, no, stupid kid, like,
stay with your father. Like,
go back.
Yeah.
I don't want to play this.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the people would relate to that.
Like,
and
your father is probably really mad right now that you're gone. Like, go back.
Yeah. Unsafe.
Yeah. Anyway.
You don't have an emergency contact. Your location is not on. But the flip side of that too, I would wonder, people that are a little bit older than I, because I'm already connecting with just the age and life that Kratos has gone through. And I mean, by all means, my life is nothing like Kratos's. That would be crazy. But there's a tired and weirdness to him, and a just wanting to kind of settle. And so I see that already and can feel that and like resonate with that a little bit. I would imagine someone who's actually
he'd rather be home in his house
than going out and fighting.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a lot of people that, like, maybe in their 50s are retiring and stuff, that would be like, man, I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to go relax.
Yeah.
You can see just the weariness in him. And so it's not so much that I relate, but that I can understand it and see it. And it's really powerful. I don't want to give too much away in that, but he keeps doing a thing where, because it's Kratos, it's been really hard for me. And that is where he'll almost tear up, and then he'll take a deep breath, and then he will
he kind of just takes a deep breath and walks it off.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Like,
gotta be tough. And like, every time he does it,
deep breath and presses on. Yeah.
He's got to be, the strong one for everybody. And they've really kind of humanized him even more so in thinking this than they did in the last game.
Yes, because he was still very stoic in the previous game.
Yeah, I think
he still kind of is, but much less this time.
He was still very much like a god in the last one, and that's kind of gone away, and he's just a man wanting to go home. And so I think emotionally they've really kind of showcased that a lot more in this. Mimir, great as always.
Mimir's great. I love
the knowledge that Mimir passes on is always great. And so that's not talking about the gameplay much. I'll get into the gameplay a little bit. I'm bad at God of War. Found that out. I'm not in Give Me Story. I think I'm Give Me Grace is the second one. I had it on normal, and it was not working out for me.
It is a challenging game. It does have like a challenge to it, and I gotta respect it. There's games these days that are adding a good amount of challenge. Because there are some encounters that it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I could do, I believe, 4 more difficulties up if I wanted to.
And it's got almost Souls-ish combat in a way too. Like just not like difficulty wise, but just that there's a lot of games. I'm
sure it's probably rhythmic
from that,
and I can't keep a beat, so maybe that's why I was having. I was like, I gotta make this easier.
There's definitely
the other thing that God of War is kind of getting known for after this game for sure is this. It's really, it'll take something that could have been a 15-minute thing and make 2 hours out of it through the gameplay. And so you will, story-wise, nothing will really happen, and you'll spend an hour getting from point A to point B.
That's my one gripe that still holds with both of these. Yeah.
It's not as bad as the original God of War. The original God of War.
Yeah.
Not original. I say original. I mean God of War 4. The first one of these, of this series. And that was terrible because I had no idea. I was like, well, that's going to be the next thing. The end of the game. I was like, someday. And this, you're definitely getting from like a point A to point B, which is nice. And then it kind of ends for a second and lets you breathe. But it is really good. You mentioned like it's really hard to put down. I'm having a hard time putting this down. I did that with the first one too. It kind of, if you don't stop in the brief moments that you're allowed to stop, then it'll keep going.
So what I did was I got this game as like a late Christmas gift last year, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till next winter to finish this. And it was one of those things where I could have waited till like Backlog Golf started, because I beat this like literally Christmas Eve. No, it was like Christmas Day maybe. It was around that. Yeah, it was like Christmas Day or the day after. I beat it, and I'm like, to me it was a bigger flex to just beat it and then just instead of wait for Backlog Golf. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this now. Like I am there, so why not? You know, like I couldn't put it down. I'm like, I gotta go through it. So, I
will get to a point where I'm like, all right, they said that it'll be up ahead, this thing that I'm trying to get to. Often so. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just wait till I get up the head then. And then it'll be another 45 minutes of gameplay. And I was like, you lied to me, Trace.
Yeah.
It was not just up ahead.
But it was like a few miles.
The other thing, kind of unrelated, I mentioned this, is that I got in a little bit of digital photography with it. And now I want to go back and play a bunch of different games and how to play with the photography. I've used photo modes before, but something clicked in the last few weeks.
Last of Us.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Photo. Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna stop. I could give you a list.
I have some games that I can go back on.
Yes, Horizon.
I last few weeks I had something click in me. I don't know what. So it started with I had that concept, that idea, and so I put that in the volunteer page we were talking about, geekstories.com/volunteer, to have digital photographers. And so I thought I would play with it a little bit too. But what I've been doing for last year is I've been hiking. And every hike, I take about 10 pictures. I probably take more like 50 pictures.
See, you already probably have an eye for it then.
Yeah, and so what I'm doing something that I'm noticing a lot of other digital photographers aren't, that that I've seen, and I'm sure there's many that do it. But I'm really looking at the landscapes, just because that's what I'm familiar with is the landscapes. Themselves.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that focus on there are people do landscapes, but yes, there's a lot of character photos out there.
Yeah. I noticed, I was even watching a YouTube video, and they're like, well, the point of digital photography is to catch the action. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not doing that.
No, you can, yeah. And even when I was playing a little bit of Control yesterday, and the camera panned away from the character by accident, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of a random shot, but it's a shot of this landscape, of this structure, you know, like, So in that way, you probably have an eye for certain aspects of it. Like a buddy of mine who's an artist, he was taking photos in like Spider-Man 2 because he beat that like over the break. And I was like, dude, like as an artist, like he already has an eye for the poses and things that he wants the characters to do in his shot. So it's interesting to see people who, you know, who haven't really done it that much be able to just hit that button and play with it and be like, wow, like that's amazing. So
yeah, for me, with God of War specifically, because I'm in the woods a lot in that game, it was like I was like, oh hey, I can take pictures like I'm hiking, and that kind of spawned into a whole thing. So the next thing will be going into cities and things. I don't take a lot of pictures in real.
Like I want to get into actual photography. Like at some point, I don't travel enough to do that. I'm like, and cameras are very expensive.
Yes,
I mean
they definitely are.
I mean,
it's a really cool thing that we can do that. Digital photography is really. Because it's so accessible, like anyone can do it, and then it's more of a matter of like learning the little bit different apertures and stuff. I wasn't super familiar with that in the photo modes. I think it's field of view is what I was having to play with in the focus.
Yes,
but getting all that down is really not too incredibly difficult if you
can edit your photo without even having to like leave the game.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And then something I've noticed back when I played Destiny is like these landscapes are built for you to like stop.
They're built for you to look at. It's like when you play Uncharted. Oh, let's walk by this beautiful vista for a second. You know, like they want you to see that.
They made that for that purpose, and so they're usually eye catching and beautiful. The symmetry that usually when you're in nature and hiking and trying to find is kind of already there in the shot when you are playing through any kind of linear game like that.
Yeah.
I encourage it. It's fun. It's been really cool. If you're into photography and you're like, man, I like you said, LJ. I don't have $800 put down on a camera. Go play your favorite video game and take some shots.
Video games take me a lot longer ever since I started doing virtual photography.
I know. I felt kind of ridiculous because I keep now that I'm playing. Anytime I stop somewhere,
I love getting combat shots of like in combat or in action. And then like it's funny. Some games I will literally drop into a game within the first 5 minutes. Oh, look what I found. I found the photo mode.
That video I was talking about was the game Days Gone, and he was taking action shots, and they were so cool.
Days Gone is one. If you like that game, Days Gone is another good photo mode game.
Yeah, I don't have to travel to Oregon. I can just take pictures. Cool. We can move on from my photography escapades, but
I love it. I'm proud.
Yeah, I mentioned that too, LJ. You've been doing it for a few years now.
Yes,
more than a few years. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I've dabbled in it for things that I've wanted, but it was very much not for the art of it, but for the. I would go in with a very specific purpose, and so now.
I love how like you'd hit me up every now and be like, "Hey, can you get this shot of this church or like a character like walking through the church or through a church in a video game or something?" And I'm like, "Yes, I will do that."
Those are so cool. Those are probably my favorite. Still, is anything with a church in it. I get a picture. That just makes social media easy for me. But anyways, we'll move on. Gaming news, LJ.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We're still in gaming news. Yeah. So. This game, there's really not much that needs to be said because we've talked about it a lot on the podcast specifically. Is that Palworld is that Pokemon-ish game where you can get them to fight for you. You can actually eat them and cook them. I guess somehow they're basically your workhorses. They can make crops and farms for you and do all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, that game is coming out this Friday.
I'm so excited.
It's coming to Xbox and it's coming to Game Pass for Xbox and PC. It is coming to like an early access type of form, and then I think it will be on Steam as well. So it's here.
I haven't been this excited for a game.
This feels like a game that like we didn't know if like was ever going to come out because it's been a while. Because we saw the trailer and we're like, what is this? Like this is.
I would have paid money for this game, and now I don't have to because of Game Pass. So it was the coolest. Like, yeah, I'm so excited.
I have to pay money. Oh well.
Yeah. I will shoot Pokemon and have them shoot back at me. It feels very like I don't know if it will be or not, but kind of Ark survival Pokemon.
Yes, no, that's exactly what it is. It seems like it's going to be like I don't know how hardcore, but it is a survival game. And instead of dinosaurs, you have they're called pals. So
yeah, they're literally Pokemon.
got your pals. Yeah, I want to build like an army.
Pocket pals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm
looking at the art right now, and it just looks ridiculous. What is the
It's
ice
so-
bird that's a starter Pokemon or a water bird?
I don't remember. I'm not a Pokemon.
There's so many Pokemon anymore. There's literally a picture of one in the.
Back in my day, there was 150.
Yeah. It's a little blue bird that looks like literally, and then a Meowth. There's literally just a.
I know what you're talking
Take me
about
out.
now that you the bluebird. Yep.
Yeah.
You're not talking
It might
about
not be a
There's-
starter. It's been a while.
No, he's talking about a
No,
starter.
it's a
Pokemon.
little bird. I'll find it while we keep going. What else is going on?
So this one, it depends on how you feel about like pantheons and stuff. And this game Smite is that it's that MOBA game. It's a League of Legends kind of competitor. Smite has been around since 2014. They are making a Smite 2. They are basically taking what they already have done, but they're building it from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5. And it's interesting because it's instead of like updating the thing they have further, it's they have announced pre-alphas for it and all that, but this is coming to Steam and consoles. Smite's one of those games I feel like I drop off every now and then, but again, it's got pantheons of mythical gods and deities and stuff. So if somebody's uncomfortable with that, then this doesn't really pertain. You can
Don't
totally
play
just-
God of War.
you like disregard. Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, but it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know. I guess it's like if you do have a problem with this kind of stuff, then sure, maybe stay away from it. But
I didn't mention that God of War is a rated M for mature game, and it is very mature.
Definitely
yeah, but it's like
it.
I know that just especially for certain people, the whole thing of like mythical deities and pantheons can be like, I guess that could be uncomfortable for some people, and that's totally cool. But I've always found like mythology and stuff like fascinating since I was like in middle school.
Yeah.
So it's just like I find it fascinating, and so Smite is basically, let's take all these gods, these mythological deities and stuff like that, and put them together and make them fight and stuff like that. So it's a game I've played
as
off
a
and
god
on.
is not worshiping it.
Right.
Not equate.
Yeah.
So
So
that's helpful for anyone. If you're on the fence about it, there's why.
yeah.
If you like start praying to the god that you're playing with Smite, then
Then
maybe stop,
maybe
but-
yeah.
yes, that's a problem. Don't. Yeah. But then they got like frost giants and stuff, and characters that aren't like necessarily gods or part of the pantheon. It's like those realms or whatever. Like
Also, I was thinking of Piplup.
Piplup.
Yeah. Piplup. Yeah.
Piplup.
So yeah, if you're interested, Smite 2 does look like I'm kind of interested in it because Smite's been one of those games that I've been off and on like back to like I feel like since 2014. So yeah, I'm interested in this. The last thing that's I guess on a little bit, the news is definitely more sour. Twitch had some layoffs I think it's like fresh, like this past week.
Yeah.
And so when Cody said this number, because Cody brought this news article to my attention, he said it was 500, and I'm thinking like, like 500, even if it's one person that's laid off, like yeah, that sucks. 500 just to me felt like I'm like, is that low or high? Like I don't really like know. So I guess
I couldn't tell you how many employees work for Twitch.
In detail, I guess they said 35%.
Yeah.
Of their workforce, and that seems a little high. Like layoffs still suck, right? But 35% does seem a little high.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks. Hopefully those people find, if they do find new jobs, in the things that they are good at and that they are interested in. And it, and this is it is significant to us because we do have a presence on Twitch there, on Twitch. And Amazon.
It was interesting. CEO. Is it Dan Clancy? Does that sound right?
I don't know the name, to be honest.
The CEO. Whoever the CEO of Twitch is, he had a live stream on Twitch, of course, relatively recently about all of this. And he was very honest about a lot of it. They were like, why are you laying people off? And he was like, we're not profitable. Amazon is basically paying our way right now. We need to fix that.
Yeah.
But they talked about pay, the higher ups pay. So that's conversations that they're having about cutting that, that really surprised me.
That's yeah. First step is
see if
look
they
at the top,
actually
I guess.
do it. But
yeah,
he said it was in the conversations. And then another thing that they mentioned is a lot of tech companies, and I would like to know who. Give me some examples. But I have seen a few of them. I think Facebook had layoffs pretty recently, right? Last couple of years.
Who? What?
Facebook? Did they have a layoff?
Yeah, every tech
yes.
company's had layoffs.
Yeah. So Twitch is definitely not
including Facebook,
new on this.
for sure.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that he had mentioned. I don't have names, and so as I said it, I was like, I don't really know who. But he said
Facebook was a big one.
A lot of tech companies, they started planning for all this growth, and so they brought a lot of people in and started having all these employees, and the growth didn't really happen, and so a lot of these tech companies are just kind of bloated, with more employees than they actually need to function and run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last couple of years have been rough for Seattle because we're a tech city.
Sure, yeah.
I've known many people who have gotten laid off or multiple laid off or things like that. There's like literally countless number of tech companies up here. So.
Yep. And right at the beginning of the year too, it's wild. It's like, oh, like
you say 500 isn't a lot, but you think of like, if that's like 500 people in
I mean, it's
town,
still a lot. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it all depends on the percent. I think it sounds like it was like 30, 35% or something.
35, yes.
I've gone through a like 10%, and that already
like it's terrible to even have that thought. It's like, is 500 a lot? Like, I mean, like as a number, 500 is a lot, yes, but like for this company, like like it's just like
it's rough.
okay.
The layoffs are
yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't think it's a downfall of Twitch.
No.
You're gonna
you're gonna see all these content creators. Like, I mean, there's content creators that have been spitting that for a while. Oh, Twitch is losing it, whatever. And I'm like, they do have a lot of issues. I'll say that, but this is not. Twitch is the biggest platform.
I think this is them kind of course correcting and trying to figure out where they need to go next to be profitable and stay within the space.
Yeah.
Hopefully they continue to listen. They seem to be a little bit better about listening to the streamers.
They've definitely been walking things back when.
Yeah, they make decisions and they walk them back immediately after.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, they're just honestly a mess.
Right.
Yeah, all over the place.
But so we'll see.
Anyway, yeah. So that's it for gaming news.
We will get into the movies then. Shelley, did you see any movies?
Yeah, I thought I watched more, but I was thinking back and I'm like, no, I don't know. I watched a lot of shows, so I'll talk about a lot of shows, but one movie I did watch, I watched Boys in the Boat, which is a big deal around here because, I don't know, Boys in the Boat came out, the book came out, I want to say like 2015 or something like that, I don't quite remember, but it's about the UW rowing team facing off against Nazi Germany.
Wow.
It's a true story. It's a very interesting story. And I remember, because I was a rower back when this book came out, and everyone and their mother was
because I was going to say, I know your family's into that, yeah.
Yeah, my whole family rows. My sister rowed at UW, so it's like all very personal. Right. And it's a good movie. Yeah, I liked it. I definitely recommend it, even if you don't know much about rowing. As far as sports movies goes, I think it's really good. It was fun to see comparisons to like Seattle, like back then. Definitely looks way different. Also, they didn't do any filming in Seattle, I don't think. I think they did filming. Ironically, they did a lot of filming at another big rowing venue, regatta venue called the Henley, which is in like London. I want to say it's like somewhere over there. But it's funny because that's also just like a regatta venue where people row, but it's not Seattle. They have like these cool shots of the cut. With like the Montlake Bridge, but it's like all greenery on the sides, whereas like that's just so they obviously couldn't have filmed that in Seattle because there's so much CGI and so much like cover up.
You're like, that's not accurate.
Exactly. So, but it was really good, and I think it must have been accurate to the book. I never actually read the book because again, everyone was telling me to read this book, and everyone I knew had read this book. And when something's that big and popular, I don't want to I don't want to engage in it. It's just like my weird, stupid hipster kind of energy where everyone is recommending something to me. They're just like, no, you have to read this, you have to read this. Heck, my dentist.
You want to make that
like,
choice
you
for
to
yourself rather than have a bunch of people tell you to do it.
Yeah, so, but I was like, yeah, I'm obviously going to watch the movie. And what was so funny was going into this theater, and everyone there, you could tell, is a rower or related to rowers.
That's crazy.
Because the entire height average of the audience was up like an entire foot or two. Like, everyone was tall. Everyone was wearing their UW stuff.
That's cool.
And of course my sister was too, right? And her friends that she invited. So it was a good time, but it's like a cool story. And it also is this awesome window into Seattle and history, and also a window into rowing history, which a lot of people, unless you are a rower or no rowers, you don't know rowing culture. So this is a really awesome sort of like window into that.
It's very specific to you as well, so it's like you obviously did connect with that more than anybody else would.
It's so niche, but it is a good movie. So
that's
if
awesome,
you're
though.
interested in just like going to the theaters and watching a good, like, it is still technically a sports movie, but it's good. I liked it a lot, so definitely go check that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I watched a lot of TV though, so I'll talk about that later.
Cool.
What about you, LJ? What'd you watch?
I watched a bunch of movies over the break, but I guess the most recent one, the one that's fresh in my mind, is Self-Reliance. That's the one that popped up on Hulu with Jake Johnson and Anna Kendrick. It's pretty good. It's pretty wild. Concept is basically have so many days this guy, he has so many days to survive, but he's like being hunted down the whole time. So it's got like a Most Dangerous Game kind of like concept to it in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's a super quirky movie. It's Jake Johnson is one of the guys from Always Sunny. It's definitely got plenty of like humor in it. But it also like it's good. It just kind of makes you think. Like, I don't know, just the value. I guess like the value of life and stuff like that. But it's a fun movie. It's on Hulu. It's very interesting. There were parts that I'd probably like maybe I'd have to watch it over again just because like so much happened while I was watching the movie. But it's like one of those things where I definitely got like there's maybe a few lines of dialogue I missed or something, but other than that, like it was a very interesting movie, very enjoyable. So yeah, it was good. I recommend it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
The only movie that I remember watching was Legend. It's a movie that I've been watching for a couple years now. It keeps popping up on all my social feeds for some reason. I don't know what they're trying to say, but it is a like 1960s, I think, or 50s gangster movie starring Tom Hardy alongside Tom Hardy as two twins, or a set of twins.
Nice.
And yeah, very really good acting to see, because he plays these very polar opposite characters. One of them is very put together and businessy, and then the other one is kind of unhinged and crazy. And so to see them, the same person, being these two different characters is really cool. That was the whole reason I wanted to watch it, was just to see Tom Hardy's acting.
I love how it's like Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy, like in all the advertising and like the posters and stuff. I love it.
Taron Egerton's also in it, and he's very young in it. But Paul Bettany,
it's a 2015 movie.
Yeah, it's a little bit older, but it's a kind of a hard R crime gangster drama.
Okay.
But really, really good acting. I mean, that was the only reason I really watched it. The story's all right. It's very slow paced. It's got a lot of quirkiness to it. It's kind of goofy, but uncomfortably goofy. It's like when it's funny, it's like uncomfortable. Best way to put that, I guess. But no, if that's your kind of thing, I would recommend it. It was a good watch. Nothing super special about it, but I enjoyed it. We can go from there though to the movie news.
Sure.
Go ahead, Jelly.
Yeah. So first off, we have the official name for that Mandalorian movie that's going to be sort of finishing off that series, that story, right? And it's by Favreau, of course. Jon Favreau is going to direct. which totally makes sense. But anyway, the movie's called The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is just very standard. I guess, this show's called The Mandalorian, and Grogu becomes a really big part of it, and so sure, the movie would be called The Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, okay. Sure.
This definitely sounds like a comic book title or something.
Yeah.
It does,
I need,
doesn't
The
it?
Mandalorian, Grogu Strikes Back, or something.
Yeah. So it's like kind of, I don't know.
Revenge
They've been
of Grogu.
really on that kick. At least, I would say both Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars, where they just love naming their shows and movies after just like names or like a name. So like Andor. I guess technically
Loki.
Echo is like a superhero. Like it's like their tag basically, right? It's like their name.
Yeah.
But then
Superhero
Loki,
name.
right?
She-Hulk.
Loki,
Yeah.
She-Hulk, Miss Marvel,
Moon Knight.
Moonlight. It literally. So that's what I mean. It's like it's just following that. Where I'm like, okay, I get it. It's kind of boring, but like. I
The
get
Book
it,
of
I
Boba
guess.
Fett is like the most like unique they ever got. I think.
Right, and then that failed. So maybe they're like, oh, it was the name. The name ruined it.
Should have called it Boba
I
Fett.
really, you might say they closed the book on that one.
But yeah, they just love naming their things just after
Yep.
the main character's name.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I thought that this was all going to kind of fall into Ahsoka's stuff, and
I don't
that
know.
doesn't seem like that's what it's going to be. It feels more like
Yeah.
they're probably closing. And I know Pedro Pascal, they've talked about closing his story anyways. He was kind of done with it. So maybe that's why they're doing a movie, was like, hey, we'll give you a little bit more money and then we could just be done.
I saw something that there is going to be a new season and a movie.
Of Mandalorian?
I thought there was going to be
Yeah.
a new season and a movie.
I feel like it's going to be this movie and
I
then the
think it's
season
just-
will be Bo-Katan. If
Let me
they do
see.
that.
That'd be
I'm gonna look.
surprising. I don't know. This movie won't be out until probably 2026 at the earliest because they're not even starting production yet.
Begin
So
production.
it'll take a while. So maybe they have
I don't know what's happening.
something. Yeah.
I want Andor season 2, please.
Me too. Me too.
That's all.
So besides that, we have Martin Scorsese's going to make another Jesus movie, which we love to see. So
Mhm.
he's going to be making a movie. It's based off a novel called novel book, right? It's called A Life of Jesus by Endo. That's important because Endo wrote Silence, and Scorsese made the movie Silence as well. Directed that back in 2016, which is an amazing movie, by the way. It's very depressing, very dark, and pretty gruesome. Like very radar. But definitely recommend it if you have the stomach for it. Really good. But anyway, he's making another one. He's coming back. He said it's probably going to be his shortest movie though, which is interesting. He says it's probably going to be like 80 minutes long. So like.
Not even an hour and a half?
Not even an hour and a half. Which, honestly, I respect so greatly. Because, like, if you don't need a movie to be long if it's good, right? You can just kind of keep going.
Mhm.
So, I respect that. But anyway, that's pretty cool.
I guess we are on season 4. Sorry, I thought it was like we're in the 5th already, but no, season 4 is definitely going to happen for Mando.
Mandalorian, go back to... I was like, wait, what?
The heck? Okay.
Sorry, I just had to I looked it up.
Oh, that's fine.
I need to catch up on Chosen.
Same.
I'm still on season 1.
I watched, I think I watched the first season. Maybe not even finished it. And then I was like, yep.
I
Cool.
loved it, and I have not gotten any further. Tying it back to the Jesus. I saw a thing from
Jesus
Martin,
Media. Jesus Media.
Yeah, Scorsese
Love it when it's
saying that
good.
like it doesn't want to be evangelical with this movie necessarily. It's more just like life as is, trying to make a good movie, and it just be very. This is what happened without a message behind it. And I'm very curious how that'll pan out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious as well. But not much more to say about that. It's not obviously out yet, but very good. I mean, obviously Scorsese is a great director, so that's something to be excited about overall.
Probably pretty hard to build a segue from that to your next story.
Well, okay, I guess do it for me. That's okay. Guess what? Jack Black is going to play Steve in a Minecraft movie. Really just
I was proud of
another. What the heck and why? Obviously I love and respect Jack Black.
He had to craft it for you before, so that way he could get it in there.
Yeah, true. I'm just I'm
yeah, she
overwhelmed.
said, sorry
with,
if you already had something crafted.
No, you're fine. Oh my gosh. Never mind. I don't apologize. I don't forgive you anymore. Anyway, Minecraft movie. I gotta admit, I'm surprised there hasn't been one already, given how popular Minecraft has been and is and will be. Right? It's a constant. But I don't know. I'm so tired of.
Do we know if it's live action or animated?
They didn't say.
I don't know. I just I'm annoyed with these like big movies being like, well, let's just get the freaking weirdest actor out there. Again, I fully respect Jack Black. I just feel like this is so weird to me. I think I just want voice actors. I want voice actors playing their characters in movies. But I guess Minecraft Steve doesn't really have one. He kind of just grunts. He doesn't really do anything well. So sure.
They did do a Minecraft
also starring
story
Pedro
mode.
Pascal and Jason Momoa. I don't know if that's
Jason Momoa has definitely been. Yeah.
I just
That
don't know.
That cat sounds kind of fire.
It's like all these video game movies are just. I don't know what to say about them.
It would be absolutely hilarious if this movie was a Castaway parody.
Was it what?
Castaway parody?
That'd be crazy. That would be very meta.
It would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have any thoughts other than this just screams Chris Pratt as Mario energy, Chris Pratt as Garfield energy, that sort of thing. But I guess
at least it's not Chris Pratt because it could be.
No, literally, you're right. I will say,
I mean,
I guess
it could have been Dwayne Johnson again. I mean,
yeah, true. I can't be too mad.
Jack Black is not far off.
Because I do like the Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and that's also kind of similar energy. Now that I think about it, so
they got lucky somehow though. Like
But I don't know. I should be more excited about video game movies, but I really just can't be. I think I'm just kind of like, oh, we're doing it again. Okay.
I feel like if they're getting them to be entertaining, like to me, if they're getting them to at least be entertaining, then I think they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Like especially with
I really
these
enjoy
ones like this.
Pikachu.
Yes,
that's true.
And Sonic, Mario, I was kind of met on.
I guess it is also Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu energy.
Yeah.
So it's just baffling. It's so weird. It's not bad, right? Because obviously those movies were good, so it's not like it's bad. It's just like so weird. It's such a weird concept, but it works. So whatever. I don't have anything more to say about that.
I did tell my nephew today. I'm like, hey, they're making a Minecraft movie, and I was like looking at the show notes because I was like, doing that stuff. He goes, "Oh, can I see a trailer?" I'm like, "There isn't one yet." I was like, "It's still being made," and he's like, "Oh, okay." I still want to see it. I'm like, "Yeah, it's not out yet." I'm like, next year. He's like, "Am I going to be in second grade next year?" I said, "Yes."
It's weird because you have these kind of video game things, and then you have like Horizon Zero Dawn being turned into a show.
Yep.
And I mean that would be very different from this concept, or a God of War. Are they doing a movie or a show? I know God of War is doing something.
Amazon is getting the God of War show.
There's some video game adaptations that are very much trying to be super honorable to the original in a sense of like, we're going to keep the same story, we're going to keep the same characters, and we're going to like really try to just express this, like kind of like Last of Us 2 or The Last of Us show.
The Last of Us did it really well. Like they took liberties, and I think that was fine. But
I feel like when it comes to like the Mario movie and what came with the Sonic movies, and what I have a feeling with the Minecraft movie, it's going to be more like this is a movie meant for people who have played that game, and it's not going to be like because there's no story in Minecraft anyway, like there's not, they can't really adapt it that way. It's going to be probably very silly, and they're probably going to, this just sounds like it could also be Illumination, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it is. They probably would have
I forget what studio is working on it.
I don't know what studio, but it's there's either the like, oh, we're gonna take this really silly approach and it's gonna be really fun for maybe fun for people who haven't played the games, but really fun for people who have played the games because it's gonna have all these references. It's gonna like make fun of the game a bit, probably.
It
and,
needs
like,
to be
have these,
super
like,
meta, I think, for Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. And then you have like Last of Us, probably Horizon, and stuff where it's like, oh, we're gonna just like do the original story. We're just gonna have it in a show format or movie format, etc. I don't know. Different approaches, different seriousness.
I think all of the game shows or movies that I'm excited about are ones that have narratives already.
Yes.
Sure.
A Mario movie, not a huge narrative. I'm kind of like, eh. Or Minecraft, I'm kind of like, all right. But you give me something that has a narrative that I'm already invested in, and then I'm like, I want more of that narrative.
Like,
I don't want a repeat of the narrative, Hollywood. I want more of the narrative.
I'm pumped for some of these more serious like narrative ones, like you're saying, because it's like, ooh, like my parents and family vaguely know like Fallout's coming soon. Like my mom knows, like, oh, she calls like the like character like, oh, is that Fallout Boy? Even though it's like that's a Vault Boy, you know. So it's like, oh, you know that I was like, you know that post-apocalyptic game I play? Oh, there's gonna be She goes, and I'm like, there's gonna be a movie or there's gonna be a show out of it. And then like I'm sitting there talking about like God of War because my stepdad's in Norse mythology, and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for y'all to actually see the movie or to see the show. Mm-hmm. Because like Last of Us worked out so well, I'm like, yes, give us more. Like,
don't have a lot of hope for Horizon, but we'll see.
No, yeah, but yeah, I'm down for the narrative stuff. Like, let's see what y'all can do.
Yeah, totally.
Let's move on to television.
Yeah.
We'll do TV. I don't have a lot to say on Echo because I've only watched the first episode. I will say that so far it's really good, but the first half hour is just them catching everyone up on stuff that they hadn't seen. And I was like, I've seen all of this. And then they did it poorly because the person that I watched it with, it was me, my wife, and then a coworker, and they had never seen anything prior as far as Hawkeye, Daredevil, and all those connections.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was so rushed that they're completely lost on all of it. But for me, I was like, I've already seen all of this. Like, you don't need to go through all this. Yeah. And so they were trying to do something and they did it poorly.
I almost feel like they should have attempted something like that with like Ahsoka or something. Because, like, I mean, I know you said it didn't work well for Echo. But I'm like, I just can't imagine like somebody jumping into like, I mean, I guess Echo, there's less of an investment. But like something like Ahsoka and like not knowing what's going on, or even Echo, it's like, oh, who are these? You know, like
I think they would have been better off doing like a last time summary. That gives you like a 3-minute catch up on what's going on. It was 30 minutes. I mean, literally.
Or like Cobra Kai, somehow include like clips or something.
Yeah.
From from the past stuff.
The flashbacks would always be neat.
Yeah.
But, it was really weird to sit there for half an hour and just watch stuff that I've already seen, and then like. They were connecting all the dots, which was cool, but it was weird.
Well, it's kind of weird. The show is only like 5 episodes anyway, right? Pretty short. So it's kind of interesting for them to spend so much time just on that and already pretty short. Yeah. So I heard the show's really good, though. I had friends who think it's one of the best shows, or Marvel shows at least. So
Marvel shows. I'm really excited to keep going on it. I want to see it. We are watching it on Wednesdays, just as much as possible. Nice. With coworker. So
it's very, very good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more. It feels very Daredevil Defenders-esque in the way that it's kind of written and plays out, and so I'm excited to get kind of back to that more mature stuff. One thing that's really interesting is when it starts, it doesn't have the MCU kind of tag of all the comic book stuff.
Okay.
It does the spotlight thing because it's one of the first spotlights, and spotlights are supposed to be pretty unrelated to the major MCU. And I've seen not spoilers yet, but headlines saying that that's not really the case, and that it has some pretty big connections to the MCU. In the end, like, it has ramifications, and so very curious about that happening.
Or maybe like Spotlight is like the comic version of like whatever it is, like Max or something, where it's like, okay, this stuff is going to be a bit heavier, like,
yeah,
because like Marvel has their own like line of like more mature comics, you know. So I'm thinking, I wonder if this is what they're trying to do with.
Might end up being what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know what those big connections are yet. I don't know if they're actually big connections, so we'll see. But
right.
I find it hard to believe that there's big connections because none of the other shows have actually and major connections to the movies, except for maybe Miss Marvel and the Marvels. I think WandaVision and What If were kind of like, I was so stoked for Doctor Strange, and it had so little to do with the investment that I made in those shows. But we'll see. I'm excited to watch more for sure. LJ, what else have you seen?
I have been watching. It's been the perfect.
Oh, I saw What If as well.
Yeah. So, first, I think like the thing that I've been doing, especially when I was working. I mean, I'm still been working a lot, but at the end of the day, I've been throwing on like an episode or two of Modern Family on, and that show's so funny. That's got like that. Hulu has like all their episodes, and there's like this ridiculous amount of seasons. They're like 9 seasons. Super fun sitcom, like mockumentary, like comedy thing. People probably seen like memes and like maybe clips of it. Super fun show. Used to be on ABC. It was just one of those shows like everybody's got like maybe like like kind of like The Office, or just that one show you just like throw on, just because you need to like unwind. This show is that for me right now. So I'm like 2 seasons deep in it. Yeah, so I've been watching that, and then I've been watching a bit of like scattered television here and there. Like I did watch a few episodes of Percy Jackson, but the one I think I've watched I've only watched a few episodes of What If, because What If season 2 I think is what's sticking out to me right now. But I really have enjoyed. I've only seen like maybe 3, maybe 4 episodes of season 2 of What If. But I've really enjoyed every episode I've seen so far. Because they got, I think the ones I have seen off the top of my head are the Nebula one, Peter Quill, the young Peter Quill thing.
Nebula,
and then
Blade Runner.
That episode, and I'm like, man, if this is episode 1, this is going to be hard to beat. And then there was the one with Tony when he meets the Grandmaster. That whole thing, that was a really fun episode, and that was basically like Mad Max, like Thunderdome kind of thing. Like, I'm enjoying these so far, way more than I thought I would. Like, the first season had a few episodes I really didn't care about, but so far, I mean, I've had no complaints with any of them. I enjoy them a lot, and it was nice to see like Tony Stark again. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah. He's dead, but here we are having him in this episode. And so, I don't know, it was just kind of cool. It kind of brought me back to, like, older MCU a little bit, especially, like, like, taking us back to those times. Oh, the other one Yes, I did. The other one I did see was the Christmas episode, too. That one was fun.
So good.
Yes, that one was really good, which is basically Die Hard. I won't give too
much away, but I was frustrated with the fact that there is a... inconsistency with the rules of Infinity Stones. I'm not going to say any more than that, but they need to explain themselves. Because they are doing things that they shouldn't be able to do according to other movies and shows and things.
Well, that, and then Loki's like, oh, these are just paperweights, like...
Right, and that is... So, like, even when you go to season 1, we can talk a little bit more about season 1, and spoil that a little bit, but they're using the stones in season 1 all over the place. Well, apparently once they're outside of another universe, they're useless. So I came to the term that maybe what's happening, this hasn't been explained, but the reason they were paperweights were because in the TVA specifically, there's no magic. And the stones
they were
magic.
Useless.
So that's why they were useless, and it had nothing to do with the dimension they were in. Different dimensions.
Okay.
But that's not explained. They just say that they get them from all over, and they just don't work anymore.
That makes sense, though. Okay. To me, that does make sense. Like, it's not explained, but okay.
But, it goes farther than that. And like I said, I don't want to give it away, but there's just certain things you're like, you should be able to do that.
What If season 2 has been really good, though. Like, they have not missed for me yet. And so I've seen 4 episodes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so. Given that, too, it's a great show. There is a medieval episode, I guess I'll say. And it's amazing. I think it's second to last episode, or maybe it's 2 episodes for the last. Really, really
That's
great.
Cool. Sweet.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. What about you, Shelley?
Yeah, so...
You have a lot of shows.
Yeah, ever since we finished Baldur's Gate 3, we're like, we can watch shows now. Cool. I mean, because this is what we do. We kind of just, like, rotate with stuff that we'll, like, do together. So, we started and finished Loki Season 2. Yeah, really good. Man, Tom Hiddleston, he needs to be a doctor. The Doctor, I mean. Like, Doctor Who.
Oh, that would be good.
Like, the entire season 2, I just felt like was in big... It just felt like Doctor Who. But, like, good Doctor Who. But that's what it felt like. I was just like, Loki's just the Doctor. Like, this stuff is all happening. Like, this is all... like, and he should just be... He's British. Like, come on. He should be the Doctor. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Yeah, it was really good. Really good. Liked it a lot. Great. A+. Started to finish Horimiya Season 2. That show's also really good. It's just so sweet and precious, and it just is like having a cup of hot chocolate. It just like warms you up. It's so sweet. But if you're single, just be a little bit mindful that it's about cute relationships, or one very particular cute relationship. Like it's a romance anime, so just keep that in mind going into it, because I know
Horimiya is really good from what I've seen.
It's very good, and I love it. But I'm also married, so like I have no insecurities about being single because I'm married. So if you are insecure about being single, it might be something you want to not watch, just because you may feel really sad. I don't know. You may be watching it and be like, I just want that kind of energy, and I wouldn't want someone to feel like that. I would want someone to watch the show feeling happy for the characters and watch the characters for what they are, you know. At least that's how I did it. So I wouldn't want anyone to go into it being like, wow, I've heard this is such a good show. Oh, I feel like crap because it just makes me reminds me of how single I am. Like, I wouldn't want anyone to do that. But it is really good if you aren't insecure about that. Then I think it's a really good show to watch. It's so cute. It's just like, oh, and I relate to a lot of the characters too, which helps. Yeah, I really like that. And then we also haven't finished Spy Family Season 2. We only have 2 more episodes left. We were just waiting for them to get dubbed, because it's one of those things where it's like, I have no problem watching subbed, but I need to watch something. If I start something dubbed or subbed, I need to finish it subbed or dubbed. I can't switch to the, like, we've been watching Love is War subbed, whereas we're watching Spy Family dubbed, you know. So the last 2 episodes haven't been dubbed yet, or at least I think one of them has, but we're like, we can't just watch the second to last one and not the last one, so we're gonna wait for that.
I need to see if I missed that Street Fighter 6 crossover.
Oh, that's right, with Yor.
You could literally make Yor as like an avatar character in Street Fighter 6. I know. I need to look at that.
Season 2 is very good. If I missed it. The one thing that makes me a little bit like depressed though is that the manga is still going on. It's still going strong, but it's also not even close to being done yet, which makes me really nervous because this is a great show, and manga I assume too. I just haven't read it. It's a great show. I do want there to be an end eventually, and I don't know how long they really can keep this whole shtick up. If you don't know, Spy Family, the whole shtick of the show is that it's about a family where the father is a spy, I guess husband is the spy, the wife is an assassin, and the girl they adopted is a telepath, and they all have the secrets from each other. None of them know what each other sort of are and what they are. And it's very cute, super wholesome, but also like not for kids. Like, there's just blood and guts come sometimes. Maybe not guts, but a lot of blood. A lot of these blood.
Spy Family is almost one of those animes I would almost recommend people who don't really watch a lot of anime like to watch, I think. It's like because of the plot, I think, or like the concept of it.
Yeah.
At least that's me, but
it's just like, it's so good. I recommend it to yeah, pretty much anyone, but not kids. Like, it is a cute
right.
Like, it's almost a family show. Like, it's so close, but it's not. Yes. And I think it's better for it.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're having a show about a spy and an assassin, and people aren't like dying, and you know, like, you can't really censor that much. So, it's still really good though. I love it, and I just haven't finished it yet because I'm waiting for that dub. And I think that there's also a movie, and I think it already was out in Japan. I think it's coming to the States. And I would love to see that too. And then besides that, we also did start the Percy Jackson show, because I never read Percy Jackson growing up. I watched the movie once, and everyone said it was really bad, which is fine, because I think it was. I barely remember it, but we're watching, and my husband, he read the series back in like middle school, so it's been a long time. But what's funny is that we kind of like, you know, are watching, and I'm just asking lots of questions about how this world works, etc., etc., and he's just like, oh well, this and that, and he's just like spoiling things for me, which is totally fine. It's like, it's just, for me, it's like, I'm not even so much watching the show so much as I am watching my husband watch the show, and that's very fun.
That's cool.
But it's a good show. Like, it is, like, I can already tell, like, it does, you were talking about, like, the chapter breaks, and I see that, and I'm like, that should just be standard. Like, that just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense to just be like, hey, guys, this was a book, and chapter sequence. So, yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I don't know. It's just fun. That's what I've been watching.
I did forget something. You brought up anime, and I was like, oh yeah, I did watch 2 seasons. I don't know how I forgot of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Wow.
Oh, I need to watch the second season.
I heard
that show's so
really
good.
good.
Yeah, it was a week ago, and so I've completely forgotten about it.
That's
But
totally fair.
that
Jujutsu Kaisen's awesome.
yes, it's very dark, very gritty, a lot of gore. I would say, so kind of be aware of that. It's funny because a lot of people are like, I've heard a few people say that it's the Game of Thrones of anime because everybody dies.
Really?
And
Okay.
but specifically because everybody dies, and still no one has like done the Game of Thrones thing, and I'm surprised. Happy that no one is like, I thought it would get overly saturated where everyone would just start killing off their main characters after Game of Thrones, because that just seems like the smart thing to do marketing wise. You would be a good show, and so don't, you know, it's not nothing like that. It's just a nobody's safe kind of feeling when you're watching the show. It's really really good. Like I said though, it is pretty dark and more on the gory side of things.
Yeah, more on the horror side of and like gory side of like anime.
Yeah. But I had a friend that told me to watch it, so we've been T and I, my wife, we were watching it nonstop till we got through it, and
that's awesome.
It was a good time.
Heck yeah.
Very sad. Sad anime. We'll get into the TV news then. We're getting a little over our time, so be quick here. Master of the Universe Revolution has a trailer, and I'm not totally sure here. So there was Master of the Universe Revelation, and I would think that got 2 seasons. I would think that this is season 3 of that show, and that Revolution is just going to be like a tagline for for season 3. But the way it looks like it's its own show, even though it is a continuation of Revelation. So I don't know why they would do that or what's exactly going on with that, but it looks good. If you liked Revelation, it has the same art style. It looks like the same voice actors, and that was this weird like continuation of He-Man for those who are unfamiliar, like the 80s He-Man, and it was like a direct continuation but made for a little bit more mature audience. I definitely wouldn't say
stirred up some controversy too.
Yeah. It was weird because they did this and then they did another He-Man show.
Yeah, the like kids one or like
yeah,
it was a much more kid friendly one.
Yeah, super strange. I don't remember this one being overly adult, but I would definitely kind of
it was more mature though.
Yeah, like older teenagers probably. I wouldn't watch this with your 7-year-old. There's other He-Man. There's also She-Ra out there. Is that right? Is that what her name was?
She-Ra?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
I thought I had that right.
Mm-hmm.
I watched all that all the way through too, which would be very different in tone than Master of the Universe. Going on with more Netflix. This is all Netflix news. Man, that could have been my tagline. I didn't even realize.
Oh, Netflix.
Kind of, in a way. Laurence Fishburn is cast as Regis in The Witcher TV series. For those who don't know who Regis is, I'm sure he's in the books. But more importantly to me is he was in The Witcher 3, and he's one of the best characters in the game. He's a vampire, super witty. Has one of the best lines though in the end. So cool. I guess it's an old game. I don't care. As you fight him, he says, if you believe in a god, you better start praying now. And it's chilling every time. And I listened to it many times because I kept losing.
Mm-hmm.
The Laurence Fishburne, is an interesting choice because he definitely doesn't look like the Regis from the video game by any means, but I do think that Laurence Fishburn, being the amazing actor that he is, can do a really good job with this.
I've heard that DLC is extremely good too.
Yeah, for sure. Curious to see his take on it, especially that actor in a medieval role. I feel like is something that I haven't really seen before. So
that's true.
Be kind of cool. And then lastly, Defenders isn't technically on Netflix anymore. It's on Disney Plus, but it was a Netflix thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's crazy.
So weird.
And the news is it's been on Disney Plus for a while, but it is now officially in the timeline of the MCU. There's a way to like view the MCU by like chronologically. I don't remember exactly how that all works, but the Defenders and all of the shows within that. So
they have like different subsections of everything.
Yeah, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Punisher. Those are all in that chronological order now and a part of the MCU officially. And that's all of them, not just Daredevil. So that's pretty curious. Make everything canon. Obviously not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the other
I still need to watch Luke Cage. I've been wanting to watch that one. And The Punisher.
You haven't seen any Luke Cage?
No, I have not.
Or
Punisher.
Luke Cage.
Yeah, I need to catch up. I was so Daredevil pilled at the time. Daredevil was like the only Netflix thing. And then Jessica Jones. Yeah, like Jessica Jones I did watch a little bit of, but then like, yeah.
You will love Luke Cage, given knowing you and your love for music. Yeah. I think that you'll be.
Yeah.
It's it's very hip hop.
Nice.
But no, I'm really excited because I do watch these shows to enjoy them, but there's some club exclusivity to watching everything because it's connected. And so when I watch a show, Iron Fist, that I don't necessarily love, but I'm watching because it's connected, and then I come to find out that it's not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it hurts a little that I wasted. It feels like you wasted your time. And so for them to be like, no, it's all canon, and now I have all these friends, and I'm like, you haven't seen this?
Well, wait.
Now I feel a little, pop the collar. I watched it all. And so, no, I'm really excited about that. Plus, there's a lot that they could do, I think. Finn Jones, what's his actual... The Iron Fist. I think that he would be a lot of fun to see in Shang-Chi. And then I think Luke Cage and Jessica Jones also have their place like in the broader MCU. I think that would be really cool to do. There's a lot of talk of just bringing back the Defenders and Kingpin kind of being this Thanos threat for the street level.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, and then I've seen rumors of Spider-Man maybe becoming more of a street level player, and then making like a movie like that. And if they do a street level Defenders movie, I think with Spider-Man in it would be pretty crazy, pretty cool.
That would be legit.
Yeah, I would definitely be down for that. Plus, we want the Punisher too. The Punisher was great, and you could put Punisher in all sorts of stuff. Talks of Midnight Suns. Punisher would be awesome in that.
Ooh.
Getting to see John Berthold's Punisher with Ghost Rider in any capacity would be neat. So it's really cool that all this is canon, just because all those possibilities are now possible again. Yeah. And that is the end of the TV news. You guys geeking out about anything else this week?
Nope.
I did something fun, work related. I went to Topgolf for the first time.
So good.
Super fun.
Love
really fun. It's funny because I'm visually disabled and I won 2 out of 3 games.
Let's go.
I mean, I do have a little bit of golf experience, but like a little bit, It was great though. It was fun. So
heck yeah, we have a well. There are actual Topgolfs here as well, but actually really close to us. There's a virtual Topgolf. I've never visited it, but I'm like, what's the point of going just for virtual golf? Like,
yeah.
It's interesting because all it is just like a driving range, and then everything else you see takes place on screen. It's super cool. It's fun. Yeah. I think it's definitely different than like bowling or like it's another activity that's like it's super fun. So
cool.
It might be I think it's pricey.
Yeah. Well, those bays though, I think they're not by person;
yes.
They're by bay. So if you get a few more people with you,
yes,
being a little more affordable.
Yeah, so it was a work thing. So my boss was like, "Yeah, the food is decent too."
Buffalo chicken dip all the way, guys.
Yes,
Yum.
they had in the bar area. They had this really giant screen too that they were showing the football game on. I was like, "Oh!" I'm like, I want to know how big that thing is. Like,
I've been to Topgolf like twice, but they had a deal on hats, and so I have this white Topgolf hat that I wear all the time. And he was like, "Oh, you're a Topgolfer," and I'm like, "No, I've been twice
once, but
I love it. It's so fun."
I was gonna say they did look like they had nice merch too.
Yeah, it's a nice hat. That was why I bought it.
Yeah, I
was
was
like,
like,
I want to get one free, so me and my brother got 2 hats for.
I was slightly tempted, but I'm like, nah, I don't need it.
Yeah, get yourself some buffalo chicken dip and throw balls in the abyss.
Yes.
It's fun. All right, we will end the podcast there then. Shelley, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at TheShellShock24.
And LJ?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under LJ the Paladin.
Cool. And you can find me on Instagram at Cody Armour. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter, or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.